Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about how to get a nuke on Infected. I'm going to explain all the different strategies that I would use. I'm going to explain exactly what I would do in a game of Infected in order to get a nuke. So hopefully at the end of this video you guys will be able to hop on COD and drop yourself a nice little nuke on Infected. So if this video does help you out, then let me know in the comments and leave a like, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's jump straight into this video. So the first thing you want to think about when you're playing Infected is the map that you're playing on. So you could do this on any map you want, but 3 maps I recommend trying to do it on is Museum, Dome, and Mercado Las Almas. Those are the 3 best maps in my opinion. I'm just going to go over the strategies on these maps really quickly. If you do want to look at the strategy for a certain map, then go on my channel and find the nuke for that specific map if you want to see a specific strategy. But anyway, starting with the museum one, very easy. This is by far the easiest map. You get the Castle 545 in this map. One of the spawns has a really long, like, it goes back really far, so most of the teammates will end up sitting there, and it's really difficult for the infected to kill you. So basically that's where everybody sits, and if you're accurate, you keep your ammo, you play it smart, you can get a nice easy nuke on museum. So Dome being the second one, everybody, I think if you play Modern Warfare 3, you know everybody sits on the catwalk or just somewhere in that general area. What I like to do is I like to sit on the Say you're sitting on the catwalk looking towards the other spawn. I like to go on the right side, and I like to kind of hide by the lorry and the stairs to the entrance of the main building and kind of just sit there because they all spawn from there. I like to sit there, get a few kills, and then fall back to my teammates on the catwalk and finish my streak off there. That's what I do there. And from Mercado Las Almas, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, what I like to do is, or what most people like to do is, there's a building, I think it's kind of like a workshop, I could be wrong. Basically, it's just a staircase up to just a little tiny area. You can look over the side and shoot people coming up the stairs, really easy. There's 2 windows you can look out of and shoot people, but unfortunately, this is probably the least easiest map because there is a window where infected can actually climb through if they jump on top of a wall outside the map and jump into the window. But usually you have so many teammates up there, you don't actually have to pay attention to that. You can just shoot the infected running up the stairs. But before you go up there though, I would definitely recommend running around kind of just outside that area, not too far away. You don't want to run too far away. It is quite a built up map and you will get killed by people using dead silence. So I'd stay in the area, just pick off a few kills before you go up there. That's what I usually do anyway. So anyway, those are the maps. If you want to see like a detailed strategy, just go and look at the video where I've got a nuke and I'll explain it properly there. So now I'm going to explain everything that would apply to you in any game of Infected. So starting from the start of the game. So the Infected timer is coming down. What you want to do is you want to get out of sight. You don't want anybody to see you or be looking at you or anything like that. And what you want to do is you want to be staring at your radar and waiting to see who disappears on the map. Once you see an arrow disappear, that guy has become infected, so he could be close to you, could be on the other side of the map. If they all disappear, then you have become infected first. The next thing you're going to want to be thinking about is where are they coming from? You're going to want to rush around the map as much as possible to try and build up your streak before loads of people become infected, because otherwise when you start getting on a 20 kill streak or more, it becomes too hard to finish a streak or even call the nuke in. So if you get all those kills early game, then it's a lot easier for you to get that nuke and be able to call it in before there's too many of them. And to do this, you want to know where they're coming from, and to do that you need to use your mini map. So let's just say most of your teammates are on the left side of the map or at the bottom of the map or something, and you can see there's like a gap in a certain area of the map. There's no teammates there. You can expect the enemy to be spawning there. There's loads of different spawns on Infected, so if your teammates are all over the place and there's like one little corner where there's no one there, that's probably where he's going to come from. But if your teammates are literally everywhere and you do not have a clue where he's going to spawn, then I would recommend just playing it safe and sitting with your teammates, because otherwise you could get snuck up on by a guy using dead silence. Which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, because dead silence is actually your worst enemy on this. Luckily, most of the infected don't activate it, but for the ones that do, they can catch you off guard and it can be very irritating, especially in the early game, which is when it usually kills you, because it can be very boring. It could infect somebody that's not very good at the game and they could just not be getting any kills. They might not even be moving around the map very well, and it could just be very boring, and you might just run out trying to get some more kills and just get stabbed in the back by somebody using dead silence. So try to just sit in your spot, just stay there until the game picks up before you can start using any strategies. That's what I would say, because the game will either end or it will pick up and a lot more people will start coming towards you. Usually it doesn't actually end, it gets to the last 5 seconds and somebody will blow themselves up to become infected. So just stay in the spot where you're nice and safe until a couple of people become infected and you can actually see where they're starting to come from. So moving on to the next part of the video, I want to talk about strategies. So for me, it's kind of like zombies. Think of it like zombies. It kind of is zombies in a way. I like to think of it as 3 different strategies: the low round strategy, the mid round strategy, and the high round strategy. Kind of like that. So obviously, when there's not very many infected, what I like to do is I like to sit kind of in front of all my teammates where everybody's camping in the middle of the map, maybe just being a bit risky. Like, you might not want to do this because it is a bit risky, but I like to sit like really far out, very close to the spawn. If I know where they're coming from, sometimes I'll sit right outside their spawn because I have a huge advantage because I know exactly where they're coming from. That would be my first strategy. That's exactly what I do until like too many of them become infected. Then I'd fall back. My second strategy, I'd fall back to where all my teammates are camping, but I wouldn't go in there yet. I would sit somewhere around the outside. So I know no one's going to come from behind me because all the teammates behind me are behind me, so no one's going to come from behind me just yet. I pick up a few more kills there, and obviously when they start to infect more people and it starts to become too hard to hold off, then I go to my last strategy, which is go into where all the teammates are camping. Hopefully by this point some of those teammates will be dead and there won't be that many there, which means there's not going to be that many people that can take your kills. And this is the reason why I would say don't go up there to start with, because there will be like 10, maybe a little bit more than 10 people standing up there trying to kill like 2 people at a time, and you're not going to get your kills, so you're just going to be wasting ammo to get assists. So that's why I would say don't go up there straight away. So hopefully by the time you do go up there for your third strategy, there's only going to be like 4 or 5 people up there, so you will easily be able to get the kills. When you are up there, you should be on something around 15-20 kill streak, and by that point they will be just running at you, so you should be able to get a nice bunch of kills nice and easy. As long as you're moving nicely and dodging those throwing knives, you should be able to pick up a few kills nice and easily. So let's just say you've now got your nuke. You see it pop up on your screen. I just want to talk about this one sec because I get so many comments telling me you cannot get an infected nuke. Well, you can. When in your middle of your screen, when you get your nuke, it'll come up saying MGB ready or whatever it says. In your bottom right hand corner of your screen where your kill streaks usually are, I'm pretty sure you cannot see them, so you won't see your nuke ready there, but you will have it, so you just call it in as normal. If you get infected, you cannot call your nuke in again. It's gone. You've lost it, okay? So you can definitely call it in. I've done it multiple times, so I don't want to see any more comments on this video saying you can't do it, because you can. Right, anyway, back to what I was talking about. So you've got your nuke now. They're still coming at you. You're still shooting them because there's so many of them. You need to find about 5 seconds to call it in. Once you've called it in, it doesn't matter if you die. You win. You get the nuke. It goes off. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Even if you're the last person alive and then you die, you stay alive and your nuke goes off. Happy days. But if you can't call it in, you lose your nuke. So you need to find the time to call it in. Sometimes you will have to run away because there's just too many of them. Other times you can try and use your teammates as bait. So sometimes what you can do is you can just lay down right at the back, and hopefully they won't see you straight away and they'll just go for your teammates, and that can buy you enough time to call your nuke in. But if you can't do that, you need to find an escape route and you need to run. Sometimes you will have to, well, most of the time you will have to fight off a few of them. But once you kill a couple and you manage to get around a corner and you can lay down somewhere out of sight, all you need is 5 seconds or so to call it in. And then once you've called it in, that's it. You've done it. It doesn't matter if you die. You've literally got the nuke. So if you do make it this far in the strategy, then congratulations, you have got a nuke on infected. So that was a guide on how to get a nuke on infected. I hope these strategies and everything I talked about in this really helps you out, and I hope you guys can go and get a nuke for yourselves now. I've never done a video like this before, so if this did help you out, then let me know in the comments. Leave a like, all that kind of stuff. If you guys end up liking this, then I'm going to do the same sort of video, but for a normal nuke, so you guys can get a normal nuke on whatever, like domination, stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, if you have made it this far in the video, then you are an absolute legend, and if you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because that would help me out so much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.